Evan had noticed the distance long before he admitted it to himself. For weeks, his wife, Lila, brushed him off with excuses about urgent deadlines, late meetings, and last-minute crises only she could solve. Normally, he would have believed her. But the stories didn't match. The perfume lingering on her clothes wasn't one she owned. Her phone stayed face down everywhere she went. Sudden girls' nights appeared out of thin air. So when she texted one evening, *working late, don't wait up*, it didn't shock him. What she didn't know was that Evan already knew everything. Just a few hours earlier, he'd gotten a call from Mara, the wife of Lila's boss. Her voice was calm, steady, and deadly serious. She suspected her husband was cheating with a woman from work. When the two compared details, the schedules, the excuses, the mysterious nights out, everything aligned with disturbing precision. Instead of confronting their spouses separately, they created a plan, quiet, deliberate, and devastating. When Lila sent her usual excuse, Evan replied with just 5 words. *No worries. I'm not alone, *. No emojis, no explanation. He let silence do the work. Mara sat across from him, composed and elegant, a faint, icy smirk lifting her lips. She wasn't emotional. She was strategic. "She'll come home fast," Mara said calmly. "They always do when they think someone else has the upper hand." And exactly on cue, half an hour later, hurried footsteps echoed down the hall and keys clattered violently against the lock. Lila didn't knock. She burst in like she was ready to accuse him of something. Her face was tight with anger, jaw locked, hands clenched. But the moment she saw Mara sitting beside Evan, her entire body stalled mid-stride. The fury melted into pure shock. Mara stood slowly, crossing her arms, eyes cold enough to freeze the room. Lila swallowed hard. Mara stepped forward, heels tapping softly, stopping just inches away. "So," she asked with a razor-edge smile, "how was your night out with my husband?" Lila's mouth opened, but no words formed. Her face drained of color. She tried to laugh it off. Nothing came out but a trembling breath. Mara didn't step back. She moved closer, forcing Lila toward the wall. "You thought you were subtle," she murmured. "Late work nights. Secret lunches. But liars always slip." She pulled out her phone and played a video. Grainy at first, then painfully clear. Lila and her boss getting into his car. His hand on her back, her face lit with a smile she never wore at home. Lila gasped like she'd been punched. She stumbled toward Evan, reaching for him like she expected comfort. "Evan, I swear it's not what it looks like," she whispered. Mara cut her off sharply. "Spare it. We've seen the messages." She handed Evan her phone, filled with texts that erased any possibility of denial. Lila's excuses, stress, pressure, confusion, fell apart before they even fully formed. Evan said nothing. His silence terrified her more than shouting ever could. Then he stood up, walked to a drawer, and took out an envelope. Inside were divorce papers, already filled out, already signed. Lila's knees buckled as she stared at them. "No. Evan, please don't do this," she pleaded, voice cracking. He placed the papers calmly on the table. "You turned your late nights into something else," he said quietly. "I don't beg. I don't chase. And I don't share." Mara nodded approvingly. Lila collapsed into a chair, sobbing, clinging to the papers like they could save her. Mara stepped closer. "By the way," she added with a cool smile, "I filed for divorce too. He's leaving tonight." Lila looked between them, stunned as the full destruction of her choices settled over her. 2 marriages broken because of her. She wasn't angry anymore. She wasn't confident. She wasn't in control. She was exposed, cornered by her own secrets. Evan grabbed his keys and walked to the door. Lila scrambled up, grabbing his arm, begging for another chance. He gently pulled away. He looked at her one last time. Her face streaked with tears, her confidence shattered. "Next time you text someone that you're working late," he said softly, "make sure you're not being watched." Then he stepped out, leaving her standing alone in the doorway, shaking and speechless. Sometimes the quietest exit leaves the loudest echo.